Morning class, it's Coach Day. Today we're going to go over the quadratic formula notes, and I'm going to teach you a little song so you can remember this in the correct order. Now, here is the quadratic formula. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So you'll get the negative version of your b value, add or subtract, so there's two answers, and you've got to get the square root of whatever, b squared minus 4ac. It only applies to equations in standard form, so they'll look like this: ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This is how we've been seeing most of our quadratics. A, b, and c are the coefficients, and a cannot equal 0, because if a equals 0, the x squared goes away. Now, one way to help remember this in the correct order is to remember the song Pop Goes the Weasel. Do you guys know Pop Goes the Weasel? All around the cobbler's bend, the monkey chased the weasel thought all was fun. Pop goes the weasel. You know that one? Or the little crank on the Jack in the Box, and that's the tune that it plays. We're going to say the formula, and I wrote out the words right here, and we're just going to read it as it goes through. Alright, so we'll do the words here and then we'll follow along just using the formula. So it goes like this: x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All I've really done is put a little rhyme and rhythm pattern to the formula as it is. Now I'm going to do the song, and we're going to read it from the formula directly, not using these words. But ready? Here we go. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, in class, I'm actually going to have the students echo this back and forth and do this 5 times. So at home, what I want you to do is just go over these words, say it at least 5 times out loud. I know it's a little bit corny and a little cheesy, but if you say it over and over again, you're going to remember the formula, you'll remember the pattern. Alright? So if you need to rewind to hear the tune, just rewind and then push play when you're ready to get the notes. Alright? Okay, now we're going to go into the examples. It says, use a quadratic formula to solve each quadratic, round to the nearest tenth when necessary. So this is going to help us get our factors when they do not come out to whole numbers. Now, example 1, we've got x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. This is in standard form. First, let's label our a, b, and c. Our a, the coefficient in front of x squared, it's at 1. Our b, positive 2. Our c, remember that minus sign goes with it, so it's going to be negative 15. So now, let's put this in our formula. Remember your formula? X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And all we're doing, we're taking these values, we're plugging it into this formula. Alright? So x equals negative b, so since b is positive 2, it's going to be negative 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 2 squared minus 4 times a times c. A here is 1, c here is negative 15. Over 2 times a, 2 times 1. Now that we have it all plugged in, we're going to go through and we're going to start to simplify everything. So, I'm just going to do this one step at a time. X equals negative 1 times 2 is negative 2, right? Plus or minus. Now before we take the square root, we're going to simplify what's underneath. So 2 squared, 2 times 2 is 4, minus 4 times 1 times negative 15. Well, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times negative 15 is negative 60. When you have a minus next to a plus, changes to positive, right? Over 2 times 1, which is 2. Now, can we simplify this? Yes, 4 plus 60 is 64. So we get x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 64 over 2. Well, we know what square root of 64 is. We did all that work with perfect squares. Square root of 64 is going to be 8. So our x values will be equal to negative 2 plus or minus 8 over 2. Now, when you get to this point, this is where you need to break it down as one as a positive and one as a negative, because your calculator and none of your devices will do a plus or minus at the same time. So let's do this one as negative 2 plus 8 divided by 2, and then we'll do the next one as negative 2 minus 8 divided by 2. Negative 2 plus 8 is going to be positive 6. Negative 2 minus 8 will give me a negative 10 over 2. And then on both of these, we can simplify them. 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. Negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. So those are our values for x. Our x value will be at negative 5 and positive 3. Now, the advantage of the formula is it won't go through the factors. It'll get straight to the solutions. So if you want to factor it, we'll do that really quick. So we've got our x box. 1 times negative 15, negative 15. Positive 2 on bottom, so we factor negative 15. 1, 15. 3 times 5, that's it. Multiplies to a negative, adds to a positive. Smaller numbers negative. Negative 3 and 5 add to positive 2. Put them both over our a value, which is 1. And so our factors came out to x minus 3 and x plus 5. Sorry about that. Lights cut out. And then when I plug in, 3 minus 3 is 0. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. So it does check out. The quadratic formula will skip all of this and get straight to just the solutions. I'm going to stop the video here. We'll continue with a few more examples in the next video.